Ireland is one of the very rich countries by any matrix. How did this small island nation become so rich? Its population is smaller than New York's. Listen up. It's a lesson for all. Ireland didn't start out rich. It worked hard for its top spot. The Irish Potato Famine between 1845 and 1849 is well known. So, how did Ireland go from starvation to becoming one of the richest countries? Ireland got independence from Britain in 1921. At the time, free market economies like United States were going through Great Depression. The communist economies like Soviet Union were experiencing rapid industrial growth. So, the new Irish government thought that it would be better off implementing protectionist policies. So, Ireland started to monopolize and nationalize its corporation and put high tariff on imports to discourage imports. The goal was to make Ireland self sufficient. So it looked like it worked for a while, but by 1957 it was a disaster. So Irish government started to encourage foreign investment and slowly lifted trade barriers to improve economic growth. It turned nationalized companies into private companies to compete in private market and become more efficient. With low taxes, free trade zone, Ireland tried to attract foreign investment. These economic policies worked, and many international companies started going to Ireland to establish European headquarters. But this didn't help improve Irish people's life because these companies just set up the offices in Ireland with a couple of accountants rather than creating jobs. They transferred their earnings to Ireland to avoid paying taxes in other countries. In 1973, Ireland joined the European Union, which helped a little. But the 70s and 80s were hard. The government increased the income tax as much as 50% for an average person. Unemployment reached 17%. In 1987, the Irish peoples once again started to immigrate to other countries to find work. This worsened the economy even more. To solve these crises, Irish government started talent strategies, which all the political parties were invited to provide economic reform policies to solve the crisis. To get out of the crisis, government cut down on spending and reduced taxes so people could spend and invest more, which improved the economy. The government also focused on policies that encourage multinational companies to hire Irish people to improve their standard of living. They explored the difficulties these foreign businesses faced hiring Irish people. One of them was the labor laws. It was very strict, and hiring and firing was difficult, which made companies reluctant to hire Irish people. So the government liberalized labor legislation and other policies to make it easier for businesses to hire Irish people. These changes worked, and businesses began to employ Irish people. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, Ireland was called by many as Celtic Tiger for its fast growth. From 1995 to 2000, Ireland's economy grew consistently at the rate of about 9 to 10%. The government also encouraged domestic new businesses with low business interest rate. But the 2008 financial crisis hit Ireland particularly hard because of its ties to United States and other European countries. In 2010, the Irish government asked for and received $22.5 billion from International Monetary Fund and European Union to bail out the banks. The Irish economy recovered and started to grow in 2013, But this came at a cost. The government has to shut down 41 government institutions and cut salaries to civil servants by 14% to pay back the bank loan that it got from European Union and the International Monetary Fund. In 2015, Ireland reported growth rate of about 25%. It alarmed the economists. They didn't believe it. It was hard to calculate the growth based on conventional method because the income of few large multinational companies was so large that it skewed the math. The Irish government took the risk again and increased the corporate tax rate from 12.5% to 15%. The economist and even the government of Ireland thought that some multinational companies might leave, but these companies didn't, as they have invested hundreds of billions of dollars in Ireland building the right infrastructure, and it wasn't viable to leave all that behind. Not only that, Irish are young, well educated, English speaking workers. It made it harder to find an alternative to Ireland in Europe. Today, the Irish economy is diversified, and even in the COVID crisis, its economy was still resilient and continued growth. Ireland went from poor, starving country to one of the richest country in almost 2 decades. Ireland is the European headquarters of choice for international companies because of its stable policy and economic system as well as educated workforce. There is a lesson in Ireland's economic history. Every decision Ireland government made wasn't right, but they keep on trying to figure out what worked for them. And when you look at it from like, I don't know, 3,000 miles, it makes sense. At the end of the day, they overcame their issue and now Ireland's economy is in a really good place. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the economic history of Ireland and how it became so rich.